أهلا بكم طالبات وطلاب جريد 1 بريب. برحب بكم في حلقة ماث جديدة تحت رعاية وإشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم، وهنكمل كلامنا عن التراينجل وثيرم 3. So let's get started. The triangle, corollary and theorem 3. Our warming up: to find the parameter of any figure, we need to add up all the sides length. So we are gonna add all the sides to get the parameter. Okay, corollary. The line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side. In the opposite figure here, if ABC is a triangle in which D is a midpoint of AC. If D is a midpoint, so AD is equal to DC. Then E is a midpoint of AB. So AE equals EB. Then ED is parallel to BC. This one parallel to this one. Okay. Here in the opposite figure, AD equals DB and AE equals AC. AX parallel to BC and DE intersect XC with Y. Prove that Y is a midpoint of XC. So we need to prove Y is a midpoint of XC. This one is equal to this one. That's what we need to prove it. Okay, so let's do it. First, in the triangle ABC, I'm gonna do it here. A, B, C, this triangle. D is a midpoint of AB. It is given in the question because they are equal. So this one equal to this one. Then E is a midpoint of AC. It is given, so AE equals EC. Therefore, DE parallel to BC. Okay. Then, since DE, where is DE? I'm gonna do it with, okay, this color here. DE, this one, the yellow color, parallel to BC. And AX parallel to BC. So the three sides are parallel. Therefore, so here we have a common. So a common here is BC and BC. So therefore, DE is parallel to AX. DE is parallel to AX. Okay, in the triangle C, this one now, C, A, X, this one. Okay. E is a midpoint of AC. E is given in the question. Okay, then EY parallel to AX. They are parallel. Therefore, EY bisect CX. Therefore, Y is a midpoint of CX. So one more time. If they are parallel to each other, AX and EY, so, and as we said here, in the first triangle ACX, we have AX parallel, EY parallel to AX. So that means EY bisect CX and Y is a midpoint of CX. We are going to work on this one. We are going to take more exercises to be clear for you. Okay, theorem 3. The length of the line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is equal to half the length of the third side. Okay, let's prove it. The given D is a midpoint of AB. So DA equals AB. E is a midpoint of AC. So EA equals EC. Then, required to prove DE is half BC. How can we prove that? Construction, draw EF parallel to AB. I'm gonna draw it here. This one. Let's do it. EF parallel to AB. Okay, they are parallel. And to intersect BC with F. So F is given here. Prove that the triangle in the triangle ABC, D is a midpoint of AB and E is a midpoint of AC. Therefore, DE parallel to BC. Then, since EF parallel to BC, E is a midpoint of AC, therefore F is a midpoint of BC and BF is half BC. Since the quadrilateral BDEF, do you see it? It's a parallelogram. And therefore DE equals this one equals FB equals half BC. That's it. Okay. To be clear for every one of you, let's watch the video from AKB, then take more exercises after it.
Previously, we proved that the line segment joining the midpoints of the two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side. From that point, if you are given the current shape, what do you think the length of DH will be? Knowing that ray HO is drawn to be parallel to the opposite line segment AB, where it cuts the third line segment CB at point O and BC equals 10 centimeters. Remember to click on the Show Steps button to confirm your answer. In the beginning, to get the length of DH, you have to know some important notes. First, H and D are the midpoints of AC and AB in order. As a result, the two line segments DH and BC are parallel to each other. On the other hand, ray HO and line segment AB are parallel to each other. Thus, shape BDHO is a parallelogram. Also, it is important to know that point H is the midpoint of the line segment AC, and ray HO is parallel to AB. Hence, the point O is also the midpoint of the line segment BC. Consequently, from the properties of a parallelogram, BO equals half of BC and DH equals BO. This means that DH equals half of BC. Therefore, DH equals 5 centimeters, and that is the correct answer. Now, after you reach the last theorem in our lesson, you may realize that each theorem is complementary for the next one, and this makes it easy to understand them.
Let's take example. In the opposite figure, if D and E are midpoints of AB and AC respectively, so in order, D is a midpoint of AB and E is a midpoint of AC. BC equals 6 centimeters, so find DE. This one is given, BC equals 6 centimeters, and we need to find DE. So immediately this DE matched between the two midpoints, so we are gonna divide 6 by 2, so which is 3 centimeters. Okay, then another example. In the opposite figure, AB equals 6 centimeters. 6 centimeters. Then BC equals 8 centimeters. and CA equals 7. D and E and F are midpoints. In order, take them in order. D is for AB, and E is a midpoint of BC. F is a midpoint of AC. Find the parameter of the triangle DEF. DEF. It is inside the bigger one. Okay, how can we find it? Immediately, as we said, now I'm going to use more colors. Okay, so here we have. Let's talk about AC first. AC. This one is parallel to it, which is DE. So if AC equals 7 centimeters, so DE equals 3.5. 3.5. Then, different color. Now let's talk about AB with green. AB, and the parallel one to it is FE. AB is 6 centimeters, so EF is 3 centimeters. Then the last one, let's make it with black. BC is parallel to FD, and BC is given, which is 8, so the half of 8 is 4. I have 3 sides, 4, 3, and 3.5. Now let's read the solution. Since F is a midpoint of AC, E is a midpoint of BC, therefore FE is half AB equals 3 centimeters. Similarly, we have FD equals half BC equals 4, and DE equals half CA, which is 3.5. And then add the 3 sides length. So 3 plus 4 plus 3.5 equals 10.5 centimeters. I need you to focus on the parallel sides, for example, AC and DE. If you know AC, immediately divide it by 2 to get DE. Then we have more exercises. Let's do them on the board. Now we have another one. In the opposite figure, D and E are midpoints of AB and AC. So here, D is a midpoint of AB and E is a midpoint of AC. Then AD equals 3 centimeters and AE equals 2 centimeters, DE equals 4 centimeters. Find the parameter of DEBC. So we need DEC and here. So DBCE. We need to find the parameter of this figure. Okay, how can we find the parameter? We need to add all the sides. Okay, how do we know the side? I know one of them only, which is 4 centimeters for ED. What about DB? Equals what? If this one is 3 centimeters and D is a midpoint of AB, so immediately DE is 3 centimeters too. Why? Because they are equal. D is a midpoint of them. The same for AE equals 2 centimeters. And E is a midpoint of AC, so EC is 2 centimeters. And what about BC? Which side is parallel to it? ED. And we know which one inside it or match between the two midpoints. So the bigger one will be double of it. So it is 4 times 2 equals 8 centimeters. Now we have the 4 sides. I need to add all of them. since D is a midpoint of AB, therefore D, AD and DB equals 3 centimeters. And since E is a midpoint of AC, therefore AE equals AC equals 2 centimeters. And since D is a midpoint of AB, since E is a midpoint of AC, therefore ED parallel to CB, and DE equals half of BC, so that means BC equals 8. And we are going to add the four side, as we said, this one is 3, and this one is 2, and this one is 8, so add the 4 sides. So it is 3 plus 8 plus 2 plus 4 equals 17. We have another one. In the opposite figure, D and E are midpoints of AB and BC respectively. So D is a midpoint of AB and E is a midpoint of AC. Then find, and the parameter is given, the parameter of triangle ABC equals 24. Which one? Here, A, B, C, the parameter of it equals 24. And here we have this point, D is for AB. Okay. Find the parameter of triangle ADE. ADE. We need the parameter of this one. Let's do it with black. This one. We need the parameter of it. How can we find it? We don't know any side length. So how can we find? As we know, if this one, any side, okay, any length, for example, if it is 4, so this one is 4. So all of it equals 8. I know the parameter of the large triangle. So the small triangles equals half of it, because each side of it double of the smaller one. So immediately the parameter equals half of 24, which is 12 centimeters. So we have to focus on what today? I have two theorems. If we have any two parallel sides and this side, which is for example DE, matched between the midpoint of ABC here. So if D is a midpoint of AB, E is a midpoint of AC, so immediately DE equals half of BC. So without thinking, if you know any side, you will get the parallel side for it. So this one is 4 units, okay? And so on for all the sides. Now let's draw this one. Okay, if I have this triangle, this one is 8 and this one is 10, and here the midpoints, and I'm gonna match between the 3 midpoints, and this one is 6, for example. So how can we find the parameter A, B, C? We know two sides of them, 8 and 10. How can we find the third one? The third one is double of the smaller that matched between the two midpoints of the other two sides. If this one is 6, it is parallel to it. So immediately BC equals 12. And the parameter equals, the parameter of A, of course we are talking about triangle ABC. The parameter of triangle ABC equals 8 plus 12 plus 10. 8 plus 12 is 20, 20 plus 10 equals 30. I used the double of the smaller one or half of the large one. That's all about today's lesson. I hope it was clear for everyone. Thank you so much.